Some wisdom is found on the surface, and some wisdom takes us deeper. Welcome to Get Deep, where we dive into the thoughts, truths, and affirmations that help us grow, reflect, and move forward. I'm Deborah Deep Mouton, and every episode we'll explore the power of words, the strength of resilience, and the beauty of introspection. Come in, take a seat, and let's get deep. I was in my mid-20s when I got my first place. I remember thinking that it needed a whole lot of furniture to make it feel like home. I got a nice ivory white chase lounge that I thought made me feel fancy. I bought a bar-height dining room table made of mahogany, somewhere I could sit and eat the meals I prepared for myself. I love to cook, and the kitchen is the center of my being. I love being able to mix up and make new things, but there were some things that were still missing. Cable was one of them. I found that it was just too expensive to think about how programming had to work for the few minutes that I was home between shifts. So instead, I invested in a weekly membership to Netflix, where I could go to Redbox and rent whatever I wanted and watch that instead. I was also missing a rug. I never kind of got around to that one. But more than anything, I think if you walked into that home, you would notice that I was missing pictures. It wasn't that I didn't have them, but oftentimes they ended up never being unpacked in a box, holding space in a corner. They were extra work that I didn't know how to curate. I know now that maybe it was that those places never really felt like home, at least not enough to put up pictures. I would put up posters of other things, but the people who I cared about and loved the most weren't visible in my home. I had a hard time settling in. By the time I purchased my first home, I knew that it was the place I was meant to be. Even though in my mind it was my starter home, it was big enough to house an entire lifetime. I started by buying the furniture, filling in all of the big pieces that would take up space and make it feel like it was less of a hollow house. We bought a couch that would hold both us and our 2 children. We filled the dining room and all of the bedrooms with brand new beds and mattresses. But my husband realized that there was one thing that was still missing. I struggled to fill the big blank wall in the entryway. He's always been someone whose house was full of pictures. Even now, you go to his mother's home and his grandmother's home, and every wall has an in-house gallery. He reminded me that slowing down and looking back is part of our everyday living. So we sat down together and we started to put together the pictures, those of our children at young ages, those of our parents or our graduation pictures. Things and moments that we cherished allowed us to look back with reflection and celebrate those wins. It also allowed us to come together and realize exactly how much we had accomplished. So much of it had completely left my memory. I was so busy moving on to the next thing, and I forgot that I had done so many amazing things and had great experiences. So if you've been hesitant to put up that picture, to print the picture in the first place, so many of us hold digital pictures on our phones and don't even look back at them. Take a moment, glance back through your life, see what kind of wondrous life you've lived, and celebrate that today as your practice of joy. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope this moment of reflection stays with you, guides you, and reminds you to keep going. If you found value in this episode, let's keep the conversation going. Follow me on Instagram at Live Life Deep and share your thoughts, your wisdom, and your light. And if you're enjoying the podcast, the best way to support it is simple. Subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support helps others find this space of growth and inspiration. This has been a Gemini's production. You can explore some of the other podcasts on the network by going to GeminisProductions.com or following on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at Gemini's Productions. Until next time, remember, you've been given today. What you do with it is up to you.